this until you started that.
Okay.
Alright, now start it.
So until it says streaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're tuning into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, After Buzzers! We are back in the studio here for Sense8, Season 1, Episode 5, Art is Like Religion. Yes. Hello. I am your host, and trying to keep her brain in function here from this episode. Alexis Torres. You can find me all over the social media sites as Torres890, but I have a different gentleman next to me than last week. Sir?
I've been gone for a couple weeks now, but I am back here on this show in this very studio with you. And I am Cameron Lewis at The Only Camshaft. Twitter and Instagram, CameronLewis.com is the website. If you want to check me out there, you're welcome to do that as well. I'm not going to stop you.
No, you got to do it. You just gotta. But we are here to talk about some craziness, which is Sense8. It's just, I didn't even take as much notes because I literally was looking at my computer screen the whole dang time.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think I lost Cameron halfway through. That was the problem, and I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Well, you didn't, but the thing is, with this show, more than any other show I do at AfterBuzz, I just kind of get into it.
It's so easy to do that, but like a lot of people are asking in the chat, where is Nicholas? He is not here. He is also out of town. We're doing a switcheroo. So Nicholas was here last week. Cameron was not, and then we're gonna switch it up. Cameron's here. Nicholas is not. I said that already. And then next week I will not be here, but the boys will be here to talk about the crazy episode that is next week. But
apparently
don't worry.
Next week's the orgy episode, so everybody look out.
But don't worry. I promised that I will make a video of my reaction to that scene just for you guys, because you guys are awesome.
Have you seen it yet? I want you to be honest with me.
No. I can actually be completely honest. Like, cross my heart and everything. I have actually not seen the episode. Like the next episode.
Your toes crossed?
I can't cross my toes in these combat boots. They're too tight.
Okay.
Like, it's
you know what? Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out if you saw it or not.
Right. But you can tweet at Nicholas Grava, let him know, that you guys miss him and that he's having a great time in Nantucket.
Yeah, okay, Nicholas, what the heck?
I was so confused. I was like, are you in
sometimes I follow Nicholas on Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, why do I do that to myself? Because he just looks like he's having so much fun. You guys can use the hashtag ABTVSense8.
Yes, please.
To let us know what you think of the show, what you think of our show.
And we are following on the Twitter. I am looking up the hashtag. Mm-hmm. He has his phone out, handy dandy phone, and everybody's like, the orgy is everything. I'm like, I know all three of us should be here for the next episode. I'm really sorry, but I'm having a family reunion and I gotta be there, so I apologize.
You're gonna send in your video. It'll be good.
No, I'm gonna send in my video. If I could Skype in, I would, but it's like I'm like hours ahead, so it will be kind of weird. But I will do my best. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
You're not going to like a Indian wedding, are you? By chance?
No, but I mean, if I'm gonna see a schlong there, I might go. So, again, a heads up. Heads up.
Let me just say before we get into it, I will say it again once we get into it.
Yes.
While we were watching the episode, which, by the way, I love watching with you because you're like freaking out the whole time. And you're like, Wolfgang penis. Where's the Wolfgang penis? Where is it coming? Here's down the track. Here comes the Wolfgang penis. It's like, oh my goodness. It's so ridiculous. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I really have to continue watching the show with you every week.
No, I completely agree. So obviously we got to get into it but we have to. That's at the end of the episode. So anyway,
yeah, we'll get to it.
So of course, we open up with I have my notes are everywhere. I'm so sorry, but
okay?
definitely we definitely want to talk about Leto because apparently he's having some issues keeping it together. Poor guy.
Leto is freaking out.
Yeah.
He's freaking out on set. He's freaking out. He's crying. He's becoming emotional. There was a scene in his telenovela where he's supposed to meet a young woman and go, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty," and he cries and he freaks out.
I mean, technically, he said that he was overcome with emotion and overwhelmed because of her beauty. So I don't blame him, but it was kind of awkward because according to the director, he wanted sexy, he wanted hot, and apparently crying and tearing up is not sexy.
Apparently not. And you know what else isn't sexy is freaking out at people in traffic.
Yeah, that was new for me. I mean, again, as a lady, I understand menstruation sucks. I totally get that, but like, I am not one of those people who's just like in traffic just yelling at people. But then again, every woman's different, or apparently every person who's connected to Sense8 is also different. So I mean, whatever. But yeah, Leto was obviously being overwhelmed by Sun, who was going through her monthly, and
gosh.
it was just crazy for him. He felt like he was dying. Apparently, he felt paralyzed from the waist down, and like he was just going through some
I like
stuff.
how he became more eloquent in the way he said things like overcome by her beauty and the natural presence of her. And it's like, oh my gosh, okay.
All right.
Is that
he likes to use his vocabulary when he's very emotional?
Apparently, yeah.
So of course we had that. I loved, again, there's obviously we all know that there's a lot of intertwining through this episode, but I loved that Hernando was just like, everything's okay.
Yeah.
You're fine. Are you seeing things? Is everything okay? And he's like, there's a Korean woman crying. I'm not crying. There's a Korean woman not crying while I'm not screaming. It was so great. I love Leto drives me insane, but I love his scenes. I think they're fantastic.
What do you mean he drives you insane?
Like,
insane in like oh Leto, you're being ridiculous, or insane in like I love him so much he drives me nuts?
It's kind of a little bit of both. Like I feel like his scenes are a little over the top, but he is kind of the comedic relief and also not. It's a little tough to keep up with. But I do like that he's kind of that release of that tension, because I mean the rest of the episode is
it's important
bonkers.
When you have all the stuff going down. I mean, there's like drug users and people are stealing things. There's people getting shot occasionally.
Yeah, it's just dark, and then all of a sudden Leto's like, I'm getting angry because I'm PMSing, and I'm like, oh.
You have to have that.
All right, buddy.
Nomi is getting her brain taken out of her face. Like, you have to have the comedic relief of men on a period.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. Sense8. So, anyway, so obviously we all
makes sense.
as we're continuing with Sun's story, the fact that she was also dealing with a very hard decision. My favorite scene out of this whole episode was definitely the discussion that Sun and Cafius had together. That was fantastic, and I loved how it was shot and how it was edited. And I didn't realize until they brought it together. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a part where Cap is walking towards a direction in Nairobi, and then we have Sun walking in the same direction but opposite in Korea, and they meet up. And I love how it was just interchanging from people who are in Nairobi to people in Korea. It was so beautiful.
It was really cool. Like we've said it time and time again, but the editing on this show is insane.
So good. It's just.
And how do you even go about shooting? Like, imagine scheduling these scenes. Like, you are gonna,
no idea.
And the actors have to stay on top of their stuff.
But they've been on point though.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is only episode 5, but they have been on point every single time, and I love that. Crack ship is a go. Sorry. But yeah, also thanks everybody for hanging out in the live chat.
Yes, thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. I love looking at that, and also iTunes. We'll get into more shout outs later because I have a few reviews and stuff I want to talk about, but we'll get into that. But
is it just me, or is Sun still the most mysterious character to you? Or do you think that her story is being played out a little bit more now?
They've given us a lot of Sun's story, so I appreciate it. But at the same time, I feel that I want to know more about her and her. I think it's more of her history than her actual story, if that makes more sense.
Yeah,
her backstory is what I want to know more of. I feel like with Cap, we get it. You have a sick mother. He's trying to make ends meet. He's getting there, and not in the correct way, but he's getting there. Will, obviously we don't. I mean, I feel like we've gotten enough story from them, but not enough backstory from everybody. Like, I really want to know about Riley's bringing up, besides the fact that her father, is back into the orchestra. Like, I know that.
I wonder if that is. He is back in the orchestra.
He is.
I wonder if they're doing that on purpose. Like, I wonder if we're in a position right now where we want to know more, and that's where they want us to be. Or is it something we're never going to see, you know, any more backstory on these people? It's possible.
I mean, I'm hoping for it, but I'm also on the Nicholas Grava train where it's like I just want them to meet up and just make it happen.
do too.
But I have a bad feeling it's not going to happen till like
after the orgy?
Not the orgy. I feel like it's going to happen like way down the road.
Really?
That's my prediction. I mean, I know that you guys have been asking us to do 2 episodes a week, but I also feel like there's so much information. It's really hard to do 2 episodes a week, but we're working on it. But I digress. So reeling it back in, I feel that, you know, I wanted to get your insight because I wanted to know your thoughts. I mean, I know we were watching the episode together, but I wanted to know your thoughts on how their comparison was. How Cap was talking about that he had to make the decision of being, you know, working a dangerous life and helping his mother out, or just...
Well, what's interesting is that Cap is talking to Sun in a position of like, I know what you should be doing, or I know the situation you're in. When he's saying that, it's like, I don't think he actually knows what he's saying, but he's saying what she needs to hear. You know, and that's really interesting to me. And they're both in a similar position where they're having to make difficult positions, like you were, or make difficult decisions, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But Cap seems to know more of his situation.
Well, I feel like because he had to kind of grow up in it. I mean, I feel like with her too, I feel like she also understands where her place is, but I feel like she's also struggling trying to figure out if this is really what she wants. Yeah. It's either, you know, especially with, I mean, in my brain, honors is a very Asian tradition. I know that my family, even though we're Filipino, we do have that, Japan and you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, family is everything. Yeah. And technically Cap feels the same way. This is his only family member. Yeah. You know, so, I mean, to our knowledge, I'm assuming that the dad is out of the picture or dead. I don't really know. Yeah. But, you know, I just see it as just, you know, it's either you do it for family or you don't do it at all at that point.
No,
and
I think so too.
So I just wanted to I wanted to pick your brain, and if Nicholas was here, I would ask him the same question.
I do think it's interesting though that Cap seems to be, what I liked about that interaction was Cap seems to be a person who is really starting to embrace what's happening to him. Mm-hmm. Like, he asks everybody he interacts with, like, where are you at? Where am I at? What language are you speaking? Things like that.
We could talk about this now. The language swapping is fantastic. It's so fluid. There were points where I don't even catch it sometimes. Like when in the bathroom scene, which I want to get to now, getting into Kala's wedding, is definitely just crazy how they were in the, like, she was coming up to the door, he was in the bathroom, you know, apparently every time he's drunk, apparently they just connect. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But the fact that he was speaking in German, she was speaking in Hindu, and then it switched.
It was awesome.
And it was so smooth.
Again, the freaking editing. How do you do this? I have no idea.
Also, the acting is just fantastic. It's so absolutely fantastic.
But I do just I like when you have the position of, you have, going back for just a second before we get to Kala, Sun and Cap. Sun is a person who doesn't seem like she's accepted what's happening to her yet. She still seems, so it was nice to see her kind of break that wall down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, because I mean, they didn't have technically they didn't have a conversation really. It was more like just mostly sight. I mean, they had the song, but that wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like a conversation. So this one was really interesting because it was kind of like not hostile, but it was kind of like, I'm drunk. Why are you talking to me? You're not supposed to be in here. And she's like, what are you, a drunk? Like, what's wrong with you? And it was very interesting how the conversation went. But I loved that. And I love how her whole conversation with her auntie with the whole like the internet.
She was like, oh, do you need me to, you know, tell you about the, you know, your wedding night? And she's like, no, I know, we have the internet. And she's like, oh, I knew that thing was good for something. And I was like, no,
I knew that thing was good.
You have no idea. It's more of a mixed feel for me, but you know, but yeah, I mean, and I agree with you, Lana. I'm gonna say Lana. That Netflix shows just tend to be really good. Daredevil, Orange is the New Black, Sense8. I mean, there are a few where I'm like, oh, Netflix, you kind of messed up. But like these few shows, House of Cards, I'm all for it.
I think that's probably because like they're just allowing them the creative freedom,
and it's great, and that's what makes it work. But again,
imagine the Wachowskis going to a network with this show. Like
it wouldn't
Fox.
It wouldn't be as good.
No, it would be ridiculous.
And also, we wouldn't have as much feel like we wouldn't have much nudity as we do.
No, there would be
there would be no cursing and there would be no nudity.
No Wolfgang penis.
Yeah,
if this thing was on Fox.
So weird. I wasn't expecting it. It threw me off. But like, technically, you guys in the chat kind of ruined it for me because I logged on and I saw that and I was like, no. But well, okay. So Kala's wedding. That's what we're talking about. So
Kala's wedding.
Gorgeous. I mean, Indian weddings already are very pretty, but I just love the crazy band that was happening, the horns and the trumpets. Whoa.
And you were saying this while we were watching the show too, but really, she has probably, aesthetically talking, the most beautiful storyline. I mean, look at where she's talking to her family members, her aunt, her mom, all these people outside on this rooftop where there's just like
there's
pillows
like lanterns and candles,
and there's the blah 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 blah, the dessert. I totally forgot. I'm not being disrespectful. I just completely forgot the name of the thing.
Okay, man.
But it's just like, this looks so. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I actually started to drool a little bit when I saw that dessert plate come out. I was like, I want food.
I'm a sensate, so it's in my tea.
Oh yeah, I love how Nomi's coffee got into, that was so interesting. She's like, my coffee just tasted like a sugary dessert. And she's like, is that a bad thing?
Do you think, just speaking of the wedding for a second,
yes,
if you were in Kala's shoes, would you have let it gone this far? In terms of the wedding? You're having these big doubts, but...
No, I mean, it's hard because I feel like I would have gone to my dad about it, but I mean, it is tough with a family that's kind of like that, and who's the moms and the aunties and everybody are kind of like, you guys are meant to be, and also it doesn't help that, he's got deep pockets, so there's that too.
That's a big consideration.
So so it's a little hard for a lot of people to look at it in a negative way, and obviously they're saying that she did it, that she's marrying for love, but as you can clearly see, that's not what it is. And it's just, I would have a hard time trying to get there. I don't know if I would get this far, but it would be like pretty close to wedding day for me.
Those are good reasons.
Yeah,
Wolfgang's is bigger.
He had to do it. Where's the? I need that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, so of course, we can go to that. Why not? Actually, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for that one. I'm gonna
Take
wait
your
on
time,
it.
because I know you wanted to save it.
But obviously, speaking of. No, I'm not going to do it. So, with Cap, we're going to go back to Cap because the big thing that he decided was the deal. I forgot about the fact that he still had this backpack of things and he needed to take it to this location. In my brain, when he met Riley, I thought I love her her connections with people. Like, I love her conversation, like, where am I now? And, I love how she was like, Africa? And he's like, Kenya.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was very innocent, not innocent, but it was just very sweet.
It's sweet. He's a very sweet person.
No, and he cares, obviously. That's why he's trying to keep, his mother alive, and he's so determined to do what's right, and I love that about his character and everything, and I love how Riley is just a very soft, kind spirit, even though she's seen a lot of crap,
I have such a crush on Riley.
Oh, you guys, if you were watching this, he was just sitting there and just, like, swooning over her. I mean, she's adorable.
I'm like, Riley, if you're watching right now, come on by the after show. I'll
keep you on this side, though.
I just want to help her too.
Right here. I know.
She can sit over by you. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to help her. when does she come to the States?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I feel I want to get her out of that apartment so bad.
Me too.
I want her to come to the States, and I want her to just hang out with Will, or maybe go to Nairobi. Well, maybe not go to Nairobi, but you know what I mean.
Kat made a big mistake in trying to fight these dudes.
So, in my brain, as soon as they showed up, when he saw the lights from the car and he was, getting into his stance, I was sitting there going, yeah, this isn't going to work. He's going to fall flat on his butt. And he did.
He did.
I mean, that kick was nice. I was like, look at you getting some air. I'm proud of you. But
I love the little, he puts his toes up. He's like getting ready.
Little circle. I was like, a little semicircle. I was like, look at you.
He was getting ready to pounce. I thought maybe something was going to happen. It just didn't come through.
Well,
I liked when he said, Jean-Claude Korean lady. Come through for me or something.
Yeah, and I was sitting there going, I don't think that's how that works. It's not just like you summon this power and then you can go. It's not like He-Man or anything. It's not how that works.
Convenient though.
Yeah, I don't know, but I knew right off the bat that it wasn't going to work. But
yeah.
So obviously he's still determined. He runs after the car. He grabs a rock, breaks the window, and grabs the bag and just books it.
Ballsy.
Yeah, extremely. I was like, you could have died. Like, the first thing I thought, I was like, if they have a gun, they're just shooting at you. Like, that could have been real bad.
He was definitely smart because he understood, hey, the ninja skills probably aren't coming back. So he did something he could get away with, you know? He snuck up to the car, he got the rock, was really quiet, and then busted it and ran. That was good. But then he gets to the delivery period of that job and finds out it's just coconuts in the bag.
Oh, I was so mad. I was like, really? Huge coconuts?
Dude.
I mean, I was trying to think of like what's in the bag. Like, I was trying to figure it out. But obviously it was just coconuts. But he did get the medicine, even though I was super scared. I was like, you better tuck that in somewhere, because I don't want you getting held up again and getting your medicine taken away. That's gonna suck.
Do you think the medicine's legit, or do you think it's...
I'm hoping.
God, that would be so sad.
Every
if it wasn't.
fiber in my being, I'm hoping that it's legit. I'm going to say yes, because it would. I mean, it would kind of make sense for him to give him, you know, dirty drugs, as I like to call it. But I really feel like he needs him.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna you know, F that up for him.
Absolutely.
So.
Rick Allister in the YouTube chat here says he wasn't the only one that was ballsy.
Oh, look at you!
That's what I'm talking about, folks. That's what I'm talking about.
Guns. I love the puns. The funny thing is, I usually will boo at puns, but I will allow it. I will allow it this time.
That's good. You're in a good mood then tonight.
I am in a very good mood, because it was just, I literally just sat there and I was like, oh, okay, that was something I was not expecting. Cool, because even in Game of Thrones, they show it, but like it's usually really quick.
It wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't like that. Yikes. But anyway,
I am worried about Cap though, because now he's tied to this guy. Now he's saying,
we all saw it coming. He needs the money.
I know.
And he needs not the money, but he needs the meds. It's for his mother, for God's sakes. Another person who we didn't get to see very often to this episode was Nomi. She is slowly trying to get used to being on the run. Apparently her apartment got just trashed, and it was just a sad thing. I loved that whole, it was like a monologue speech kind of thing from her girlfriend, and I appreciated everything, and it was just so moving, you know. And I kind of wanted to see more of how she's dealing with it, but you can automatically tell that she's pretty shaken right now.
Yeah, I mean,
like really shaken.
Talk about, again, a bad day.
I feel like every episode I'm just
week.
I feel like we're just having bad months at this point. Like every day's a bad day.
The thing with Naomi, it's like she was legitimately just doing her own thing.
Right.
And now it turned out, how did it get this out of hand? It's like the doctors, her mom, her family, all these people. You know, they're going through it.
Did anybody else put like their hands up when Will was like, no, her name's not Michael, it's Nomi.
Yes.
I was like, go!
Preach it, brother.
Get it, buddy.
Preach it, brother.
So proud of you. I mean, I don't know if he was like not entering, that doesn't sound correct.
Correcting that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know if that was Nomi kind of giving him that energy, or if he was actually like, hey, wait a minute, you've been calling her Michael, her name's Nomi. I don't really know if that was just a thing, or, you know, you guys can let me know in the chat.
Yeah.
But so my second favorite scene from this, after, you know, Nomi, you know, I'm hoping that we get to see more of her in the next few episodes, but the next favorite scene was the Will. Well, we find out that the person who witnessed everything with Angel was actually a little boy. I know that in past episodes we thought it was a homeless guy because we couldn't really tell from the video, but it was a little kid. And apparently he had a record and stuff, so they found him and they were able to find out where he lives. So of course, as soon as I saw the scene of our Latin cowboy sitting there, saying the name of the episode, Art is Like a Religion, and I was like, or Art is Like Religion, and I was like, oh, are we in a scene right now? Because this is about to get real good. and as soon as he was walking in, and Will and him were interchanging, and they opened the door, and Lita's just like up against the door, like, what are you doing here?
I know, it's so funny.
I was like, oh man, this scene's gonna get awesome. And it was so good.
It was very reminiscent of The Matrix.
Yes, it did. I mean, even though we can obviously see the strings, because in The Matrix we're all like, nah, okay. But but yeah, the fact that you could see the strings, it was super cool. The little blood capsules and stuff. Oh, it was awesome. I loved it. It was just like the
director. bleeping cut.
Yeah, it was it was just apparently was that good that he had a hard on that will last a week.
Good.
And I was like, man, the downstairs like references we've been having this whole coconuts and stuff like they were setting us up, guys. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like they were setting us up for that last part. But that whole scene was really well done. I loved. I'm really happy that it wasn't Will sitting there like shooting people up as he's like running through the neighborhood or something.
That would be confusing as hell.
Yeah, but I mean, I love that the determination and the anxiety and everything, like him just booking it, trying to get to this kid was through into Leto, and he was able to do a great scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did anybody else think of like Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Like I thought about that the first episode when we first saw him, but like Desperado kind of like feel right there,
the vibe,
and it was great. I loved it. Second favorite scene, right off the bat.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
that was up there with the car scene.
Yes, that car.
I really liked the car scene.
That car chase. Back, I think it was episode 2, or it was just episode 2 or episode 3, and it was very good. I loved it.
I love it.
And then of course we get back into the wedding, and they're doing their steps. There's 7 steps around, and it was very well done. It was very beautiful. I loved it. And the funny thing is, when the scene came up of Wolfgang swimming, I guess we should talk about Wolfgang. Felix is really starting to bother me. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but Felix, like, the fact that he yelled out that we stole diamonds, because I know Wolfgang got into a little bit of trouble with the father of the son, whose safe that they cracked and stole the diamonds from. He got into trouble. Obviously, he denied everything, kind of. Yeah. And, when they went out to go drink like they do, and Felix sitting there just talking about it, and he's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, he's going to get you in so much trouble. Like, I can already tell.
Felix is going to die.
That's my main prediction, even though we haven't gotten there yet, that Felix is going to die.
He has to. I mean, listen, I think it's going to get to a point where Wolfgang is going to kind of have to throw him under the bus a little bit, because
I don't think he's going to throw him under the bus.
I don't know.
I think he's going to get in trouble.
He's getting really fed up with him.
That's also true. Yeah. But
take him out.
I mean, it's possible. I just feel like what's going to happen is Felix is going to do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing, buy more things at this point.
Yeah.
And he's going to get caught, and he's going to get tortured. They're going to tell him to choose between either telling us the truth or getting rid of Felix, and then Felix is going to die either way.
I just really hope Wolfgang doesn't get like arrested and go to jail or die or anything, because Wolfgang is not the one being loud and boisterous about everything.
No, I think Wolfgang will be fine. Me personally. But anyway,
so I hope you're right.
But speaking of Wolfgang, because he's all there apparently, was again back to the wedding scene where it's so romantic and it's beautiful, and then all of a sudden you see a wet body, and he's just like, and I love how the camera was like, face, penis, face. What are you doing here? What? I was sitting there going like, okay, I saw your butt, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But I was like, oh, that's your chunk, sir. Put that away. How dare you? I'm at a wedding. It's my wedding. Like, I would have been freaking out. But I mean, I didn't faint like she did, which I wasn't.
That was hilarious.
That was crazy.
I love that she fainted.
I was sitting there going, this is too much for her poor. She's already regretting. She's having doubts. She doesn't want to be there. Honestly, and then all of a sudden, just random penis.
If a streaker came to my wedding, I think I might faint.
Oh my word.
I think I would faint.
Oh my gosh. I just felt so bad for her. She had so much going on in that poor little head of hers. And of course, we also end at the same time with Sun making a decision and deciding to drop off her dog at her trainer's
teacher,
coach, mentor, sensei. Well, she calls him teacher. So teacher's house, and that was our sign that she is going to jail. She needs someone to take care of her dog. I know that you were kind of like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, she's going to jail. She's taking the family route, because family is super important.
Well, but if you're in her position, what would you be doing? Would you go to jail, or would you let the business die?
See, I'm the wrong person to ask, because I do love my family, but if my brother makes a mistake, I have 2 of them. If my brother makes a mistake, he has to deal with it on his own. He has to grow up.
I agree in that, especially if your brother is a D-bag to you all the time. He's a giant
D-bag.
Like, there's no reason, because listen, one of them is going to have to go to jail. It's not like, hey, one of us has to go to jail, I'll take the bullet and you can stay free. It's like one of them is going to go. Why not be the person to go to jail if you're the one that's committing the crime.
Before we continue, yes, Freya, I just saw your question in the chat. You can swim naked in the pools in Germany because
this is what we found out.
Yes, we found out from my friend Sarah Para. She's awesome. She told me that in Germany they have separate pools. The men swim in one pool. It's kind of like a bathhouse in Japan. The women go on one side, the men go into the other, and you can swim naked. It's pretty normal in Europe to do that. I mean, you can't do it here in the States. I mean, there are nudist beaches.
You can. You just will get in trouble.
You'll just get in trouble. But but mostly in Europe and in Asia, there are places where you can be naked and be swimming. So that's a thing. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's information that's way more important than anything I was saying.
No, that's not true.
People need to know
that's not
that
true.
they can go nude swimming if they want.
I mean, but I understand that it's such a tough decision because to us, we know that, like, you need to learn your lesson. He is kind of a jerk, and like, you need to do that. But at the same time, she's always been saving her brother's butt. And again, the company is kind of important to her, I feel, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, it seems like an odd decision for her to make, in my opinion, because she seems to really kind of hate the company.
I think she doesn't hate the company. I think she hates her position in the company. I think not like completely, but the fact of like her status is like, oh, nobody knows who I am. I'm just some woman here. Like, I get it. I totally get it. I just know, again, family is extremely important, and you know, she's doing it. You know, I mean, we all know that even though she's going to go to prison, something's going to happen where she's either going to get out or something.
That's what our viewers are saying right now on YouTube.
I obviously know that she can.
I think Sun can handle herself. Mike is saying Sun would at least stand a chance.
Oh yeah,
I think
totally agree. And you know, speaking of that, since that was pretty much everything in the episode, let's definitely jump into predictions because I want to know what you think since you haven't been here for 2 weeks.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV
predictions, please, Cameron. Grace me with the presence of your predictions.
So here's the thing. Wolfgang, Kala's not going to go through with the marriage. She's just not.
After her fainting,
yeah.
I think that's also like a really bad. Not like a bad premonition, but like, can you imagine waking up going, I saw somebody's. Oh.
Yeah, I saw a penis. Let's get married. Yeah, I think first of all, I think she's not going to go through with the wedding. No. Second of all, I think whenever her and Wolfgang meet, they are going to be together.
Yeah. And
I think that's going to be continuing to be a thing. Maybe they'll fall in love before they meet or something. But there's definitely a harder connection there. No pun intended. That one was totally, I swear that one was
Look
not.
Look at you!
But there's definitely a bigger connection there than she has with anybody else.
I completely agree. My prediction is obviously that I agree with you. I don't think she's going to go through with the wedding. Yeah. Or she will go through with the wedding, but something will split them up in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's Wolfgang or something. I was about to say something else, and I just... I was going to say something. Okay. I'm not going to
keep it in. Keep it in.
And then I agree that I think Felix is going to die. Maybe not this next episode, but eventually he's going to get himself in trouble, and it's just going to be really bad. I think that obviously Cap's decision to go with this man he's going to regret it.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm really worried about the medicine. I'm just really worried.
I'm hoping, again, I am crossing my fingers that this medicine is legit. But, I mean, again, he's some weird kind of mobster, so we don't really know. So, we'll find out. But I definitely wanted to give some shout-outs. Because, guys,
please do.
iTunes, I want to talk about that a little bit before we go, is that we appreciate all of your guys' reviews, whether it's on Twitter or just talking to us on the comment section, things like that. You know, we all really appreciate it. I know Nicholas does too, even though he's not here. I do have a few shout outs to give from iTunes. We got 2 4-stars and 1 5-star.
Very nice.
So we had Bayfan74, Kelvin Das, and Satai Stick. And all of them said really lovely things. Good job. I always have fun listening to you guys. That was Kelvin. Satai, I hope I'm saying that correctly. AB can be hit or miss on some after shows, but this one is a winner. Sense8 is a fantastic show. I was hooked from the first mind-blowing episode.
Thank you.
And these hosts are right along with me. Great discussions. I can't wait to join in with the live show chat on Wednesday evening. This was on July 4th, so it was a while ago. But thanks, man. And also I wanted to ask this question, but we might not have any time. But again, please send all of your questions, theories, whatever not on the live chat, on the comments below. Again, please rate us on iTunes, share the love, the video out, everything that you can. You can always tweet us, and you can find me all over social media at Torres890. Cameron?
Yeah, you can find me at Instagram, Twitter at theonlycamshaft, CameronLewis.com. Use that hashtag ABTVSensate. We want to hear about your opinions of the show, our show, and everything. And Nicholas will be back next week to join me.
Yes, and I will either be here via Skype or I will have a video of my reaction. Again, follow me all over the place and follow us and everything like that. Again, thanks guys for hanging out in the live chat with us. We really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. And have a great night, have a great week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.